Hello and welcome to another video. As promised, I'm gonna show you the format of question 3 and question 4 of paper 3 because they are a bit confusing. And by the way, keep this in mind, please. Don't take whatever I'm gonna say to you right now as if it's like set in stone. Right now, we don't have a specific sample that shows you how to answer. So I'm just going based off my experience as a teacher, what my students have done last year, and a collection of discussions I had with other teachers and what we have as teachers, like the information that we have available to us, okay? So, and of course the mark schemes and the, how do you call it, criteria. And I think this should work. I think this should work for a 7 out of 7 this year, hopefully. So, let's start with question 3. I have created the sample question based on, this is by the way for future audience. This is for May session 2025. Our topic this year is going to be about using AI and screening tools when, you know, looking for candidates and stuff like that. Be it universities, be it for just job hunting. So let's look at this question. Take a moment to read it. I guess you can pause the video and then you can come back. I'm gonna wait for like 3 seconds before I continue. So I think that's enough for you to pause. Look at the question. Discuss the extent to which adopting data-driven applicant screening tools could impact fairness and transparency for applicants to the university. So this is an 8 marks question, which means it's gonna be like an essay, okay? You cannot answer this directly with like 3 lines or something. You are gonna fail horribly because we need to build a nice essay that covers a lot of points. So remember, paper 3 deals with the evaluation criteria. So if you don't know them, you have to know them. I will just write them here just in case. So you have cost, you have ethics and values. You can just say ethics. You have innovation, you have feasibility, you have acceptability, and you have, I'm forgetting one of them, equity. Is that all? It should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yes. So, do I have to mention all of these 6 all the time? No. But at least aim for 4 of them per essay, be it in paper question 3 or question 4. Okay? So, because sometimes you really cannot mention one of them. It just doesn't go with the question. As you can see in the question here, look, it's asking for fairness, transparency, and stuff like that. So you cannot mention some criteria here, unfortunately. So step number 1 is set the background and the technical context. The introduction, a lot of students waste it and they just yap, they just say nonsense. They still think that they are in an English essay. No, avoid those useless introductions. Use the introduction as a way to set your concept and content. So what I'm trying to say is, in the introduction, a smart student will set the scene, of course, but then within that setting, he will find a way, she or he will find a way to incorporate the 3 C's. So for example, if the topic is about AI systems, I will find a way to explain how this AI works, like a definition of the background of the AI. And when you do this, boom, automatically you cover the content. So boom, that's one point for you extra. And then you also find a way to link it to a concept in the introduction. So be it power, be it change, be it whatever you want, okay? So let's look at this outline. Background: introduce the scenario, an international university facing high application volume and potential human bias in manual review for competitive course scholarships. So here, like I said, mention the shift towards data-driven approaches as proposed solution for efficiency and potential objectivity. So this is just like the first line of the introduction. You can include that. But then you can shift to a technical background. And of course, here you have to use digital society terminology. Please use that. Don't forget that. This is not an English essay. You have to use the technical words you have learned. So, Explain that this involves using digital systems and screening tools, employing algorithms. These could be rule-based, domain experts, AI-based. You can mention data sets here. You can mention supervised learning, training data, blah, blah, okay? Mention that and you cover the content point. Briefly mention the goal is often automated classification or suitability prediction. Yeah, so mention why do these universities or companies use the system. Now you can link it to a concept. Again, you are still in a small, brief introduction. You don't have to write that much here. Here, like I said, I chose change. Change is the best concept. It's going to help you all the time, mostly. Change and ethics and values. So change, you can mention what kind of change is it. Don't just say it's change, of course. Say, is it transformational? Is it evolutionary? What is it radical? And then you can mention power. I don't think we did algorithmic power in the course book, but it is a thing. You can mention it. I'm sure examiners will still like it. Examiner power and of course institutional power, because these universities are institutions and they hold power over us when we are in their buildings and their institutes. Potentially altering decision-making dynamics. Good. So this should be enough. Here I would also mention the concept of ethics and values. Ethics and values is always related to fairness, equity, and don't forget accountability and responsibility. Professors and examiners love those two. So now you start the pros and cons, because look, why did I say pros and cons? Because look at the question, read the question. Discuss offers a balanced discussion of the good things, the bad things, a reflection of the things. Okay, so you have to cover all bases. So discuss the extent to which adopting data-driven applicant screening tools could impact fairness and transparency for applicants. So here we are going to look at the trade-offs, so the good things, the bad things. So now, please use headings, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Use headings. Avoid writing a wall of text. Use headings to separate the pros from the cons, the equity from ethics and values, for example. So, this is how it should look. As an examiner, I want to see this written like this. Pros and cons, impact on fairness, transparency by criterion. So it means I'm going to start with criterion of equity. So the first, you can use this format, or you can simply say pros, blah, 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 cons, blah, 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 okay? I like this one better because it goes over each criterion and it's going to make it easier for the examiner to follow what you're doing. So pros, potential fairness, argue that standardized application of criteria via algorithms could reduce subjective human bias compared to inconsistent manual reviews, potentially leading to a more equitable treatment based on defined metrics. So this is the good thing. Now we go to the bad things and unfairness due to a high risk of algorithmic bias. Again, this is a technical digital society term. If AI is trained on biased historical data sets, another technical word, leading to amplification of systematic inequities and proxy discrimination against marginalized applicant groups. Mention the challenge of ensuring training data is truly respective and fair. So you see what I'm doing? For each point I have selected, I will use technical words and compare pros and cons. And basically, you just continue with the same format. So then you jump to ethics and values. And in ethics and values, like I said, we have fairness, we have transparency, we have accountability. Use that. And then we go to feasibility. Again, is it doable? Can we do it, really? Can we achieve this? We mentioned the resources here and stuff like that. Again, we go to cost. We go to acceptability of the people. So here I think I didn't mention innovation because I don't see how innovation is going to work here, to be honest. But you can use it if you have an idea that I'm not thinking of. And finally, you move to conclusion. Please, in conclusions, avoid summarizing. IB hates a summarized conclusion. No one cares about summaries. We know how to read. Avoid summarizations. I mean, you can do it just like a one line, but most students, for example, last year, if you looked at the report, it said most students just use the entirety of conclusion as a summary. No. So you are going to summarize it if you want, just as a quick reiteration, but one line or two lines maximum, and then you go to evaluative judgment. Here you have to give us your personal judgment, and of course you can also tell us about some responsible use, maybe like imply a recommendation. What do you recommend for us? Okay, so look at this here. So it's gonna give you an idea about what a nice conclusion is gonna look like. So yeah, this is it for question 3. Like I said, it's simple. You just have one intervention and you evaluate it. That's it. You discuss that intervention. Is it good? Is it bad? How does it work? What are the technical systems behind it? How does it impact people and stuff like that? And here, like I said, we don't have a word limit or word recommendation from IB again for some reason. But I would say go for 400 words here, or 350. Now let's go to question 4. Question 4 is usually bigger. It's 12 points. Again, I'm gonna pause the video. I'm not gonna say anything. You can just pause the video so you can take a look at this question. Okay, welcome back. So, the difference between question 3 and question 4 is simple. Question 3 deals with one intervention. One company is trying to do something to its workers or university or whatever. Evaluate it based on the criteria. That's it. However, for question 2, you have two things. So you have to evaluate the first thing, you have to evaluate the second thing, and you have to compare between both of them according to the criteria. Which one is better? Which one is going to win at the end of the day? Okay? And then you are going to recommend which one is better. You're going to recommend other future implications related to it. And boom, you get your full mark if done correctly. So, again, you are going to see a lot of similarities. Introduction, set the scene, introduce this company, why is it using this, define the technical systems behind intervention 1, behind intervention 2, find the concepts that you like, ethics, power, change, identity, expression. You're free here. And then you go and focus on use headings. Write it like this: evaluation of intervention 1, rule-based tool. So here you go over the 6 points, or 4 or 5 if you want. Depends on you, to be honest. But also depends on the question. So for example, look at this question. It says, where is it? Considering the goals of efficiency, fairness, and diversity. Okay? Don't forget that. Don't forget the question, guys, please. By the way, this question, I made it, so I didn't find it anywhere. So I just have a feeling the main exam questions are always going to look like this. Anyways, let's go back down here. Evaluate, like I said, fairness and diversity. Fairness and diversity is related to the ethics and values criteria. So you are already going to cover that point when you start mentioning it. You have efficiency, you have transparency and acceptability, you have feasibility and cost. Yeah, these two, by the way, you can merge them together like this. And for acceptability and equity, you can also merge them. So just with 2, you already covered 4 of the 6. And yeah, that's it, literally. And then you just repeat the same system for evaluation of intervention 2. You just go over the points and use headings like this. The examiners love it when they see headings like this. Acceptability and equity, 2 dots, you speak. Feasibility and cost, 2 dots, and you speak. Okay? And then you compare the trade-offs. Here, a new paragraph, also use a heading to show like which one is better. Okay? And then in recommendations and justification, which is going to be in the conclusion, what is the clear recommendation according to what you have found? Okay? And by the way, I forgot to mention, you need a real world example. You have to mention something here. Mention one real world example. And do it here as well. One real world example. So just a name of a company, a name of a tool. If you want to go like above and beyond, just you can even memorize like the dates of an article or a research that you have found. I don't know, depends on you. Some students are different. But yeah, what else? In the conclusion, like I said, avoid summarizing and just follow this format. It's here. And yeah. So final remarks. This is not an English essay. I will keep repeating this because I had some students who destroyed themselves last year. Like, I actually mean it. They were like, digital society is easy, you know, AI this, who doesn't know AI, how it works, who doesn't know the concept of power. But then they just start yapping like it's an English essay, you know? The institutions have more control over us, blah, blah. No, this is not what they are looking for. They are looking for, when you use the word power, mention what kind of power is it? Is it coercive? Is it institutional? Is it this? Is it that? You know? Be, how do you say, show your knowledge, show your digital society terminology. So number one is digital society terminology. 2, use headings. 3, use don't forget the at least 2 concepts, and define how your content works. If it is AI, for example, what is it? What type of AI is it? How was it trained? Up. Where's the T? Trained. So here, you know, supervised, unsupervised, reinforced data sets. Throw that word there. And the context is always obvious. I mean, here it's obviously educational and whatever, social, if you want. 4, don't forget the criteria points. So again, cost, feasibility, acceptability, blah blah. And again, don't go beyond the shallow definitions. So cost here, what is cost? Initial spending, long-term spending, for example, long-term repairs and maintenance, staff training. You see, like, you cannot just say cost and you stop. Acceptability, for example, social, political, you know, stuff like that. Personal, even if you want. Here it depends on your creativity. So you see what I'm getting at. Like, don't just how do you say, write as if you want to get rid of it. Write it in great detail. And lastly, for the don't forget the impacts on stakeholders whenever you can. Use the word stakeholders, okay? Stakeholders. And in conclusion, don't rely on summaries. Use reflections of your own judgments and provide recommendations. And here, where is it? Balanced overview. It means mention the trade-offs. So don't just say something is bad, and you don't tell me the good about it, and vice versa, okay? So yeah, that's it. And again, one last recommendation: read the pre-release and scroll down. If you scroll down in the pre-release, there is also like the how do you call it? Wait, do I have it here? I think I still have it open, right? If you scroll all the way down, oh nope, I don't have it. If you scroll all the way down in the pre-release, there is a list of terminology. Okay, so try to focus on that terminology. I wonder if I still have it here somewhere. Nope, I don't. Wait, it's here. So yeah, these words, they will be mentioned in the exam, and you might need them. So please give 10 minutes of your time to understand all of these things, okay? And yeah, good luck, and it's really easy. Just follow the format. I know it looks scary, but it's really not scary at all. And this outline should get you a 7 out of 7. And by the way, I avoided question 1, question 2 because they are simple. It's just like the usual: identify, outline, this and that. And I recommend you to spend like 20 minutes on question 3, and the remainder of your time should be dedicated to question 4. For question 1 and question 2, you should spend 2 minutes on them. They are very short identify outline questions just from the sources, okay? Oh, one more thing. I completely forgot this aspect. Where is it? Here in question 4, use the sources, okay? So you can say according to ER, independent research, and source A. Source A is from the booklet that they are gonna give you. Use, please. I don't want to forget this. Use the booklet and refer to it. Okay? This is important. I should have started with it. How did I forget this? Wait, let me just boom, 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 boom. Okay? Please use it. Anyway, that's enough. We'll see you in another day. Bye bye. Good luck.